Hello everyone, it's Sir Lance Little, and welcome back to the third installment of Reviews with Sir Lance Little. Today I'm going to be reviewing what is generally regarded as the worst Tier 8 heavy tank in the game, the KV-4. This hulking beast of Soviet engineering is something that seems to have absolutely nothing going for it, and so many weaknesses that any strengths are completely hidden. But today I'm going to show you how you can play it to get through towards the legendary IS-4, what is currently one of the best tier 10 heavies in the game. So what I've got for you right here is the consumable and equipment setup that I ran on my KV-4. If you want to run it like that, go ahead. But I'm going to get right into some gameplay showcasing the KV-4 in its natural habitat, that is cities. And you'll notice there that I got spotted right at the beginning because this thing has awful camo rating. Right there, take a hit in the side, although I do bounce over 1,000 damage thanks to the very thick side armor that the KV-4 has. It's actually 150 millimeters on the top of the side and 130 on the bottom of the side, so it is very thick side armor, enabling you to do crazy things like this. Here I'm reverse side scraping, which means I can pull out an angle harder than I would otherwise because I don't have to worry about the upper part of my front plate being exposed. And so I'm just able to come out sideways like this and only fear that the enemies might hit my turret, which does have several weak points, I might add. Many parts of it are only 220 millimeters thick, and there's even the hatch on top, which is a paltry 180 millimeters. So most tier 7 tanks can penetrate your hatch quite easily. But look at that. You'll still get bounces off of your turret because the mantlet is very thick and the sides of your turret are very well angled 150 millimeter plates. Here you'll see I'm firing a HE at the Lerva because, well, I can't penetrate him otherwise. And so I realized that I could do ammo rack damage by shooting him right next to the turret, and so I did that several times. You'll notice that I'm not having too much trouble with many of these tanks firing AP rounds. You do have 227 millimeters of AP penetration, not even calibrated, and the APCR is 289 millimeters, meaning I can go right through the upper part of the Lerva's hull. Of course, he is able to snipe my turret quite easily, but look at that. At point blank range, the Emil bounces off of me, and that's what you'll find with this armor. Sometimes you'll take bounces like that one off the rear of my turret that you don't deserve to make, but it'll make those bounces. But as soon as the enemies get free reign to shoot at you, they'll have no problems. Here I'm doing something that's arguably better than side scraping. I'm just hiding my entire hull. That way there's no chance of me over angling and no chance of them penetrating at all. Because in the KV-4 it doesn't really take hits well. It does have 1850 HP, so you can take quite a few hits, but when it does get hit, the front plates are very weak and will be penetrated constantly. But then look at this, the gun. While it is a lower caliber gun and the gun handling isn't that great, the APCR is just fantastic. It's some of the best premium penetration on any tier 8 heavy tank. It just butters right through the VK-168's cheeks. No problem at all, and at this close range the poor gun handling doesn't become too much of an issue. Although in the next shot or the one afterwards you will see that even at close range you can be juked. Another thing you can do to protect your weak turret parts is to move back and forth, or as I'm going to do soon here, a side hug. It's what you have to do with the KV-4. You have to avoid taking hits because unlike the VK-168 with sheer thickness that it can deal with, the thick parts of the KV-4 are very flat and will be penetrated by many, many tanks. But again, more bounces that you don't deserve to get. And here in this replay, it's a 1v5 now. I can't do anything. You only have 2k DPM, even with a gun rammer and provisions, and there's nothing you can do. And so I'm just trying to put out as much damage as I possibly can. But look at that, heat from a smasher. The poor guy must not have realized what he was doing, because in any case, here I'm being incredibly aggressive and trying to cap, because during this session I was focused on trying to ace this tank, so I was being very aggressive trying to cap bases. But you'll see I did bounce that IS-6 Legends premium rounds twice. It's a tale of two armor profiles, really. You have incredibly thick side armor, and when you run my setup, I also have enhanced tracks, so you have very good armor on your sides, but not effective armor on your face. And so you have to take advantage of that side armor and force your enemies to shoot at the sides as much as you can. So you always want to angle, and you always want to angle more than you would in other tanks, because you have such sheer thickness. And right here, look at that, I move my front to the left of his gun so that he only has my side. Of course, he does keep moving, so he does eventually get an easy shot on my side, but that's what you want to do. You want to try and get your front armor away from their turret and force them to look at your sides. And you just keep doing that and you'll get some bounces. Obviously here I can't bounce a waffle. He's gonna go through me every time, and he had been spamming HE earlier, so I wouldn't survive. But this replay right here is the coup de grace, the ace itself, and the reason that I could finally sell this pile of garbage, because I had already researched the ST1 at the time of these replays. And you'll notice that I'm going to go to B, because I can side scrape there, I don't have to deal with my poor 6 degrees of gun depression, and if it goes well, I can actually cap. Here I get a shot on the T49, that's always nice to have, but I'm going to continue on towards B, because capping gets you a lot of XP when you're playing Supremacy, and so that was my goal in all of these replays. Cap bases, get XP, ace the tank, and be done with it. This smasher that's around the corner starts firing only HE at me for this entire time and does 200 to 300 damage reliably, but that is with a ridiculously long reload, and so I am able to match him with 320 alpha damage. I got a very, very lucky shot into the E75's lower plate right there, and right here I'm basically trying to out-trade him and not take shots from him. I did bounce him once or twice, and I do take another 250 damage from the smasher, and then again put a shell into the E75 and hide. An overly excited Black Prince decides here that he's going to face a smasher and a tier 8 heavy frontally. It doesn't go so well for him, but again, look at this. The smasher would be doing 300 to 400 damage to most other tanks, but because of the sheer thickness of my side armor, he's only doing around 250. But still, in spite of that, he has whittled me down by 1000 HP. And this continues several more shots. Black Prince falls there, and I manage to get another shell into the E75, and he bounces yet again. When you learn how to play this, you will be getting a lot of bounces, but it won't protect you from stuff like that. Smasher HE is one of the most annoying shells in the game, but right there, he did less than 200 damage, and he's going to reload again and again do less than 200, showing you that sheer thickness is oftentimes very useful. finish off the Smasher there, and now trying to cap the base because, again, lots of XP, and because they already have a base capped, I want to try and win this game. See the low HP Leo and manage to get him nice and quickly. Snapshots will sometimes work, but you're really going to have to pray to RNGesus for this gun because you have the low damage of a low caliber gun, but the poor gun handling of a high caliber gun, and that's just the reality of this. It's a very poor gun with very nice premium rounds. As you could see, I could load APCR and go straight through the Caernarfon's upper plate, which I had to do because I was not going to want to stop. I needed to finish him off and turn my attention to the T-49 as soon as humanly possible. So now on 3 kills, 3,500 damage, and I'm dealing with a one-shot T-49. We're currently down well over 100 points on supremacy points, so I need to stop their cap and get more for us. Again, that's a lot of XP for an ace right there. And right now, this is really all I can do. I can't hunt a T-49. He's so much faster than me, he has so much more agility than me, and he's still a very big threat. He could, if he got lucky enough to get my side flat on, put heat right through my side. Or he could put HE into the rear of my turret or the rear of my hull and splash me for enough damage to kill me, if he got lucky. I did spot him as he got onto B-cap, but he immediately left it because I guess he was getting greedy. And now he's trying to get a shot onto the top of my turret. I'm content here to just back up because I believe that even if he does manage to get a shot onto me, that I'll be able to shoot him. At this point I realized that he could easily peek out and have an easy shot on the rear of my hull without me being able to shoot back. So I start turning it, but that doesn't stop him from getting a free shot onto me there, now showing me that he could easily two-shot me if he gets the chance to reload. But I don't let him, I get the kill, 4 kills, 3,700 damage, 2 bases capped, quite a few supremacy points, and that is the Golden M. A beautiful ace for an awful tank, and a crucial contribution medal for the 6 kills that Lech Tizdayan and I scored as a platoon. And just look at that, 100% of the damage to the Smasher, over 1,500 to the E75, plenty of damage, and we even made a profit. Good game all around.